What up, SNM Hit Squad, and welcome back, guys. Here's your boy Sean.
And your girl Mel. Welcome,
Welcome
guys.
back, guys. All right, so we got what happened to Nolan Wells, the teen football star found dead after 4th of July boating trip. This is
Mm,
very sad.
Yes, it is.
Condolences to the family.
Yes.
But another tragic story, guys, that we gotta follow. All right. So before we get into it, y'all go ahead and smash that like button and turn that notification bell. We're gonna go ahead and dive into it for the first time. Here we go.
An 18-year-old star football player found dead after vanishing during a 4th of July boating trip with friends, as questions swirl about what led up to the teenager's tragic death. What do authorities
Mm.
know about the disappearance and death of college wide receiver Nolan Wells? Here's what you need to know. A 4th of July boating trip turned tragic in Mississippi after college student Nolan Xavier Wells went missing on Horn Island. According to authorities, Wells and a group of friends took a boat out to the island, a popular spot about 10 miles off the Mississippi Gulf Coast, to celebrate the 4th. Though it isn't clear if anything transpired on the island, the Jackson County Sheriff's Office said Wells was last seen around 3 p.m., talking to a girl at the north end of the island. According to Ebony magazine, the girl's mother reportedly took to Facebook to confirm that her daughter had been with Wells, but that she didn't have any information on his sudden disappearance. Jackson County Sheriff John Ledbetter told ABC News that Wells's friends eventually left the island to go back home without him, telling the outlet that Wells supposedly chose to stay on the oasis. But as it got dark and there was no sign of Wells, the 18-year-old's mother called to report him missing at around midnight, according to WLOX. The next day, the Coast Guard and Sheriff's Office jumped into action to try and find Wells. At least several other agencies also joined in the search, but authorities were coming up empty. On July 6, authorities got a break in the case. A U.S. Park Service ranger had recovered a body off the northwestern tip of the island. The coroner told WLOX that he had, quote, no reason to believe it wasn't him. The outlet later reported that his body was positively identified through dental records. But what led to Wells's untimely death is still a mystery, and Wells's family is demanding answers. Wells's cause of death has not yet been determined and could take weeks pending autopsy results. However, authorities told ABC News he's suspected of drowning as the investigation remains ongoing. Ledbetter told ABC News that foul play is not suspected in Wells's death. However, TMZ reported that law enforcement was looking into a viral clip circulating online, which allegedly shows several people having an argument near the Horn Island shoreline. The video sparked speculation that the tense moment could be connected to Wells's disappearance. However, authorities have not confirmed that the footage is authentic or whether the people seen in it have any connection to the college student. Ledbetter said in a July 7 statement that officers are looking to speak with anyone who, quote, observed or heard an argument, disturbance, or other unusual activity while on the island that day. Wells's grieving family have since retained the services of prominent civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who insists that they will, quote, not rest until every fact about what happened to Nolan on Horn Island is brought into the light.
There it is.
Wow.
Hmm.
This is what, like, I'm so tired.
So this is got to be parents' nightmare right here. You know, this is the worst nightmare. It's the fear that sets in when your child is out there in the world and you can't reach him and he's not answering. And you feel in the pit of your stomach and your heart and your soul something is wrong. It's a parent's worst nightmare. And you can tell right off back something is wrong. Something is wrong. It's foul play somewhere.
Yeah, most definitely. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there, but something is just it's not feeling it's not setting right with me.
For the simple fact that, you know, they got the cell phone, but he's not with the cell phone. That just don't sit right with me.
It isn't sitting right with me, and
And when they played that little clip, like it was an altercation, and people can hear like, someone fussing and having odds, that is right there. That right there got to be connected. And for this young man to lose his life this way is sad.
What's really sad to me is that if you go out with a group of friends, no friend left behind. Like, we were always told, we always tell our kids, like, if you go out together, you stay within your group. It's crazy out here. Stick with your group. Don't leave your friends behind. And for his friends to have his cell phone like, and say, oh, well, he chose to stay behind. I'm not saying that they had anything to do with it, because we don't know, and it isn't right to put the blame on someone before you have the facts. So we can't just take it and run with it just because it looks suspicious. We have to let the police and the investigators do their job. They're there to do a job. We have to let them investigate before we jump to conclusions, because things like that, it could happen. You know, you could
The
leave
thing
your cell
is that
phone, mistakenly leave your cell phone and keep going.
yes, all of these things can happen. But at the end of the day, if we call ourselves friends, my friend is going to know something about something. No
Absolutely.
one is speaking up about this. What everybody's basically saying they didn't know. They don't know what happened.
Yeah, it looks really
So I got
suspicious.
3 friends, and none of y'all know what happened.
But you have my cell phone,
But
and
you have
like,
my cell phone.
my cell phone was more valuable. I get what you're saying. Absolutely
Any
understand.
teenager is going to be attached to that cell phone like white on rice. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to. And then if I stay on the island, how can I communicate if you guys take my cell phone?
It's looking very
So it's looking like,
suspicious.
hold on, we got some cracks in the seams. Like it's something that's wrong.
Could he swim? Did they know he couldn't swim? Did someone push him in the water?
I'm not even getting off the boat, way deep out there in the water like that.
So many unanswered questions.
No life jacket, like something gotta add up. But everything that's done in the dark will definitely come to the light.
Yeah, most definitely.
So let the lawyers and everybody that's going to do their job do their job, and the truth should come out
Yeah,
soon.
I don't like pointing any fingers before we have the facts, before we know. But it's looking very, like, highly suspicious,
Absolutely.
and it's not looking.
Yeah, I mean, rest in peace to this young man. He was I think a college star. I think he was on his way, so um and I know he got parents that's like, hurt right now and grieving. So this is really like a complex situation, because
Yeah,
it's hard to accept death when it's your child. Our
absolutely.
child just went out for the 4th of July, and it was a storm, and when we called her, she answered, and just by her answering the phone, give you like, like a woosah,
Ev-
you know.
Yeah, like, we all, as parents, we remind our kids, keep your cell phone at all
You
times.
gotta keep your cell phone.
There cannot be a time where I call you and you don't call me back within 5 minutes time,
Right.
because if 5 minutes go past and you don't return my phone call, I'm going to look at it as something is wrong, and I'm going to try to get to you the best way that I can.
Absolutely.
And it's just sad and unfortunate that this young man lost his life, out there with people who he thought were his friends.
Wow.
Maybe they were his friends, maybe not, but it's looking highly suspicious. I see a lot of people on social media, like, making it about race. It always
I mean, the race
goes
thing is
back
going to
to the race card.
it's
Like,
going to be
this
there.
black boy is with all these white people, all these white boys, like he was racially profiled.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't want to do. I don't want to pull the race card on this situation. He stayed back. He was with a girl. We don't know what happened. Maybe him and the girl got into. We don't know. So the best thing we all can do is let this play out before we jump to any conclusions and blame someone's child or children for something that they had nothing to do with.
Exactly. I mean, the
We
truth
don't
the
know.
truth is going to come out. You know,
Right.
it's going to, you know, you're going to have your time in court where you can speak, and everything got to add up. You know, you can't be contradicting yourself, or things just got to add up.
Yeah.
You just got to clear your name. If you can clear your
Absolutely.
name, okay. You know, so this is just what it is. And
Yeah.
you know, the guys that bought the cell phone, um, you know, we gotta hear them out
Yeah.
because you guys got the cell phone.
But that's kind of weird. Wouldn't you think, like, there is no way I'm going
It don't make
to
sense.
have my friend's phone and not make sure they get their phone?
You
Even,
gotta answer that.
and I'm going to go back and look for my friend.
Right.
If I have their phone and I know they're out somewhere, I'm going to go, it's,
In my
but
mind,
these are
I would
kids that they don't have common sense. They don't
right,
have,
like
right.
you. I would rather bring Nolan home than the damn cell phone. Basically, you know,
It's
hell
not
with the
looking
cell
good.
phone. Bring home the living soul, the life. You know, to
Yeah.
bring home the young man.
Most
You always
definitely.
can get another cell phone.
Yeah.
So that just don't make sense. But we're gonna go ahead and follow the story, guys. That's just our point of view. We just gonna go day by day and just see what happens.
Yeah.
And we thank you guys for watching. We're signing off. Everyone, please have a blessed day. All right. Y'all be safe out there.
Peace.
Peace.